Porsche. Can you guys hear that music? Testing, testing. Do I need to move my car? Because I don't know why somebody needs to eat their Chipotle in their car this loud. Can you hear it? Check. All right, we had to move, y'all. We can't be having no copyright infringement flags or nothing like that. What's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? I can still hear the fucking music all the way over here. I moved my car and everything. It's this Porsche. A guy eating his Chipotle in his car and he has his music blasting. Like, I mean blasting. I don't know if he's trying to get my attention or what, because when I got out the car looking irritated because I had to move it, I made sure I caught his eye. And, you know, he was just looking at me like, look at me in my car, my Porsche with the loud music. And I was like, you f***ed up my video. Anyway, you guys. Don't have too many things today, but you know, enough for 2 videos. First story up, you guys. Congratulations are in order to ASAP Rocky. Mama named him Rakim Mayer. I think I was saying that his name was Rashad, or I knew it was a Rosh something. It was a Rosh something. A Ra something. Anyway, you guys know that ASAP Rocky was in court because we had been waiting on this case to finally make it there. This is the case where he was being accused of being of shooting at a guy from his crew, ASAP Relly. Okay, T-Rail, what's his name? Terrell. What is mama name him? Did I put it in my notes? Terrell Efron. Accused him of shooting him in his hand. All right. Well, grazing his knuckles, but shooting at him. So attempting to kill him, you know, possibly. So this happened back in, actually it happened on November 6, 2021. There was a confrontation between ASAP Relly and ASAP Rocky over a funeral, apparently. They were fighting over somebody else from their crew, I think, had passed, and I guess the family needed help with the funeral arrangements, and they were arguing over it. I don't know if they were arguing over the fact that Rocky was supposed to do it and hadn't, or that they felt like he should do it because he had the most money, or I don't know what the particulars were. I think he was saying that he didn't pay, but come to find out, Rocky did end up helping the family out and everything. So but anyway, they had been in court and a lot of stuff had come out in court. It was coming out basically though that Relly had lied about even being shot at. Now, you know, I had been reading up on this story and everything, and I was just like, okay, the original story was that, you know, they were arguing. We did see a video. We saw ASAP Rocky look like, anyway, in the scuffle, that he had some sort of weapon. It looked like it could have been a gun, but you know, you didn't get no clear picture of it. But in the melee, you kind of saw something. Apparently at the case, it came out that there was not even a gunshot that actually happened. They said that there were no bullets. There was no gunshot. Nobody heard or reported any gunshots, and that this was like a figment of Relly's, ASAP Relly's imagination. So I think that is the reason why ASAP Rocky and his lawyers, you know, his team had decided that he was not going to accept that plea deal. You guys know a couple of weeks ago, they offered him a plea deal before he was supposed to go to court. And I think they were going to give him 180 days in jail, which is only, what, 4 months or something like that, which is still too long to me, especially if you know you innocent and you feel like you have a pretty good case, you know, that you can prove your innocence, or you can at least say that I'm not guilty and they can't prove that. That's the reason why he was just like, no. he is not going to accept that, because I guess they just knew that the evidence was pretty shoddy at best. So came down to it. The jury was in deliberation. You know, we had seen him in court. They had been in court, I guess, a couple of weeks, it felt like. And every now and then we would see Rihanna would be there. She even brought the kids on the day of the closing argument. She brought the 2 babies just for the morning part of the session. They weren't there for the second half, but, you know, they made it a point to make sure that you saw that this was a family, like a united family. But on top of Rihanna and the babies, also his family was there. Okay. Them people was representing up in that courthouse. And that was, you know, evident when they did read the verdict, and the juror was like, you know, we find that he is not guilty, you know, basically on all counts. He was being charged with 2 counts of first degree assault with a semi-automatic, 2 counts of free child, my mouth, it be sometimes be moving faster than, you know, than what I'm reading. But anyway, it was 2 counts of first degree assault with a semi-automatic firearm. And this was in Hollywood, California, you know. So, you guys, when we saw the verdict being read, A$AP Rocky turned around and jumped up, and the way that man ran back there to his family, okay, and namely Rihanna. I feel like maybe Rihanna was sitting next to his mother, because when he landed in that leap, he was in between 2 women, and they both were hugging him. One was Rihanna. I'm assuming the other one was his mother. But really, really good. I was happy for him. Happy for their little family. You know, A$AP Rocky, he has been in some things. You guys remember that shit that he was caught up in? Was it in Amsterdam, or, you know, like one of these other countries where he got into it? There, somebody was following him and his crew and kind of like agitating and trying to, it looked like they were trying to, you know, piss him off, trying to get him to react to them. And he finally did and stuff. And so he was in jail out there for a minute. I don't know if it was Amsterdam, but it was another country. And, you know, they had to work to get him out. Now we had this issue. It kind of feels like now that we done got this issue out the way, this has been 4 years in the making, like he said, you know, when he talked to the press after court was let out. But this has been 4 years. This is the last little bit of shit with A$AP Rocky, and I guess he probably is feeling like he gonna sit his ass down and appreciate what he has in his life. He had a lot to lose, okay? And a lot has happened in 4 years. I mean, his relationship with Rihanna started, you know, right around this time when this problem came up. Maybe they had probably been together for about a year. And then, you know, they started having babies. Like, when you start really like creating a family and shit, like, you can't be out here moving like this. Okay. This is single man rapper, young, stupid, a lot of money, them kind of moves. But when you start to be feeling like you gonna be, first of all, you with Rihanna, who is a, self-made billionaire, basically, you know, this woman has chosen you as the father of her children. You got so fucking much to lose. And I know he knew that. You could tell in, you know, in his way. He's changed a lot to me. Like, I feel like A$AP Rocky is not as, I never felt like he was an asshole, but he kind of felt like he was a little bit more arrogant. I feel like he's become a little bit more humbled in his new stance and his new relationship and, you know, his new family and everything, because, you know, he's starting to feel like this is like what it's supposed to be, you know. So I know that all of his life was probably flashing before his eyes there, because any time in jail away from your family and everything is just what you don't want to do. He was facing, I think they said 24 fucking years. Let me see, what did I say? I think I put it in my, I didn't put it in here, but yeah, definitely an eye-opener. And definitely like, okay, I you know, God has blessed me, made sure that I stayed out. I can be here for my boys, for my girl, you know, and all this. So let me just straighten up and fly right. So I think that that's what A$AP Rocky will do from here on out. But I'm telling you, when he jumped over into that crowd, I was just like, that's it. He can't do no wrong, y'all. I done finally 100%, I'm all the way in with A$AP Rocky. You know, it took some years. Y'all know Rhea's my girl, but I wasn't really sure about the niggas. You know, you just, sometimes it's like that. But this time I was just like, okay, A$AP Rocky. Okay, because he did not care. He was like, my woman and my mama. I'm just going to act like that woman was his mama, even if it wasn't. Now, A$AP really, on the other hand, you know, people are starting to look at him with the side eye. And, you know, people are basically claiming that he just flat out lied about the whole thing and that it was found out on the witness stand. I did not follow the case like that, so I don't know exactly what it was that they were saying that he lied about. I guess it was about the shooting, but they said that he was lying about a bunch of other stuff too. Okay. But anyway, he put out a statement, and this is what it said. This is what I saw today. It says, gossiping is a form of entertainment for people who have no meaningful goals or purpose in life. Hate me, bring shame to my name, say bad things about me, I don't care. Your existence doesn't add value in my life. And then he put the prayers emoji. I was just like, yeah, you know, that's true. You know, gossip is just gossip, and it doesn't really affect your life like that, you know. And if you're not bothered by it, you're just not bothered by it, except when you respond to something. Like, if you're not bothered by it, don't say shit. You know, the minute you get to respond, and then there's an inkling, there's a little bit, at least, of botherness. Okay, so yeah, he's a little bothered by it. Now, I've been looking in the comments, and I see a lot of people are still saying, you know, that he was guilty and that he paid him off, or Rihanna paid him off and all that. And I was just like, if anything, they were gonna make an example out of Rocky. You know, let's still remember, we is black, okay? And anytime that they can get a person, especially somebody that has some stature, you know, if they can knock them back a few pegs, you know, if that's what they can do, then they will do it. So it's not like, you know, I don't know if there's ever any situations where they give black people like the one up on things like that. You know, if you could get caught up in the shit, they gonna do it, and they gonna splash it everywhere. So I don't think anybody was paid off, is what I'm saying. Especially the way them people was hooping and hollering. That was a praying damn crowd. That was a praying family. Wanted to make sure that he, you know, got there. So you know, because if you hadn't paid it off, I mean, I know you got to play it off and shit, but no, them people was happy as hell. Okay, that they boy, they son, they husband, you know, they fiance, they dad, they cousin, they uncle, you know, that he was still going to be around. So yeah, y'all. Well, that's it on that. I was happy for them, and like I said, let's just hope that the mayor's family, let's just hope that, you know, from here on out it'll be smooth sailing. He can raise his boys and be with his woman, and you know, live happily ever after. All right, next story. All right, you guys, let's do an update on that plane crash in Toronto. So, child, I got home the other day and the news was on, and they said that not only had the plane flipped over, but that shit tumbled. Now, I know I would have been dead, baby. I wouldn't have made it. I would not have made it. Can you imagine being on the people that they interviewed one of the guys, and he was just like, I don't even know how many times we tumbled. He was just like, we was just a-going. And I was just like, see, ain't no way. They said, and when it finally ended, you know, they were upside down. They was just hanging there like bats. You know, some of them were able to just get off easily from their seatbelt or whatever. And then others had to get help and all. But, you know, they were just trying to rush them off. I had said in my video the last video about this, I had said that there was no fire, but there was a fire. The fire was not as bad as it could have been because the fuselage did not explode. The fuselage did not explode, from what the FAA and what the experts tell me, is because the way that these planes are designed, they actually are designed for the wings to snap off exactly like this plane did. Okay, they say that when the planes crash, or when something like this happens and the wings stay on, usually the wings break the plane in half. And when they break the plane in half, it also breaks the fuselage, and that's what causes it to explode. So the fact that those wings came off, that is actually ideal in a crash. That's what they want to happen. Then it becomes just like a paper towel tube, you know, and it's just rolling until it comes to a stop. So that is the good thing. That is that's the silver lining in all of this. And other than the silver lining also being that everybody survived. Nobody died. There were 80 people on the plane. They said that 19 people were injured. 3 of those people were critically injured. But as of now, I think that everybody is out the hospital, that were in the hospital, and everybody is fine. Okay. So that is also good. Delta can count their blessings on that one. Yet and still, Delta's just like, okay, listen, we know we stressed y'all out to the highest. Can you imagine? Bitch, stress. They was like, yeah, we stressed y'all out, so what we gonna do here is we gonna give every single one of y'all $30,000, baby. If I had my calculator, I can tell you what 30,000, 3 times 8 is what? 24? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20. Okay, 24. So 24 times 80. 24 times, that's 24 with that's $2.4 million. Am I right? Yes, that's $2.4 million that they're about to shell out to these people that was on this plane. And they said it ain't no strings attached. So I'm taking that to mean that we're not paying you this money, so saying that you can't sue us. Y'all can still try to sue us if you want, but we hoping that just because on good faith we done gave you this $30K, y'all gonna stall us out. Now, if I was on that plane, I'm gonna take that 30 and I'm gonna sue you. Okay, that's what we doing. Okay, because I appreciate it and everything, but I'm gonna need something else has to happen here. Something else has to happen here. They basically said the plane came down too hard. Well, the people that were on the plane, because even they still haven't really given us a definitive reason why it happened, but they said that it was a combination of things. They said that the plane came down too hard, and I was just thinking like maybe they could not gauge where the runway was because they said that it was covered in snow. They said that it had been it had been snowing really bad there, and that the wind had been really bad there. And so I thought maybe the pilots couldn't gauge exactly where. This is just me. This might not even be it. But I was thinking that maybe they couldn't exactly gauge where the ground was when they hit. At any rate, they hit the ground really hard, they said, and then they bounced up. And I think when they bounced up, the wind got up underneath the plane and they lost control of the plane. But like I said, it did exactly what it was supposed to do, because they said once it leaned to the left, the wing snapped off. And then I guess once it rolled over, the other one snapped off, and then it just kept going. Yeah, you guys, I mean, just an amazing thing to be able to walk away from that. If by any small chance, if I would have been on that plane and I survived, I'd have been that one trying to find their shit. They said that they was trying to get the people off the plane, and they was telling everybody to leave their stuff behind. There were still some people that got off with their bags, but for the most part, everybody was just jumping off. I was like, that would have been me. I'd have been like, I'm not leaving my shit up on this plane. Ain't no telling when I'm gonna get my shit back, if I do. Okay, and it still might blow. Yeah, I'd have been that one. Y'all. Anyway, so that's what's going on over there. Again, very much a blessing that everybody survived it, including that child that was injured. Now, of course, we have another plane crash that we need to discuss, because that's what we do these days. This one happened in Arizona yesterday. The crash happened mid-air. Okay, it was a Cessna 172S and a Lancair 360 MK2. Okay, it said right around 8:30 in the morning near Marana Regional Airport, which is just northwest of Tucson, Arizona. They said that these two planes just crashed midair. There were 2 people that were on each plane, and 2 people did die. So the people that were on the Cessna, they survived. All right, the 2 pilots that were on that plane, they survived. So the other ones that was on the Lancair, they are both the ones that died. Now, they said that those planes were flying in what they call an uncontrollable field, okay, or an uncontrolled field, I should say. And they don't have an air traffic controller tower. So instead, they just announce on this this system that they have. They just announced, you know, when they're in vicinity of other other planes in the area, they announce where they're when they're coming in. So everybody is on this, you know, like a CB. That's not what it is, but just for a lack of better words, like a CB system where, you know, it's like breaker 110. Listen, I'm fixing to come on, fixing to come on in. Okay, anybody that's feeling like they want to land, I'm about to land on runway number 3. Give me some space or something like that. But yeah, you guys, yet another plane crash. So let's just recap, okay? Because I was trying to think of just off the top of my head the plane crashes that we know about recently. Now we had the medevac plane that crashed in Philadelphia. Okay, we had the crash with the plane and the helicopter in the Potomac River. We had the plane crash in Alaska. You guys remember that one? Okay, that one ended up killing 10 people. We had a plane that overshot the runway. That was in Scottsdale, I think. Scottsdale, Arizona. And that plane overshooting the runway, the pilot ended up dying. And then we have this plane rolling here in Toronto. These are the more recent plane crashes or plane incidences that we've had. And then, of course, you know, because a lot of you guys were in my comments the last time I said and was like, Roxanne, it's because YSAP, you know, got rid of FAA, or they've fired a lot of people, which I understand. I mean, that definitely probably contributes to it, but we cannot place the blame 100% on YSAP and his new drunk drawer, because this was happening even before they were sworn in. Okay. There maybe not crashes, but we were having plane incidents. It was shit happening. You know, we can't forget the damn the door flying off the side of the plane. You know, that one. Remember that really bad turbulence they had where people broke their neck. It's not like I'm just starting to report on plane incidents. It's just that we weren't reporting on plane crashes. But we've been having problems with these planes for a couple of years, really. Okay. And you know, they have been talking about how bad the you know, some of the issues with these planes, the way they had been built, the engineers that were working on them or whatever, you know, there were just issues, and that was the reason. But now we having plane crashes, and I'm starting to feel like this is like human error, or is it something else? Okay, so that is that. But yeah, the report says that we haven't had a major fatal airplane accident involving a U.S. carrier since 2009. Okay. So yes, we haven't had crashes, but we've been having problems. We've been having problems enough to you be a little worried about getting on these planes, and now just flat out falling out the fucking sky. Yeah, it's very stressful, you guys. So that's that on that, but a great ending to that story that everybody survived. So that is great. Okay, let's not let this keep us from being on these planes, though. Let's just demand that they provide a safer environment for us to get from here to there. All right, next story. All right, you guys, Suge Knight in jail. I'm telling you, these people in jail, they got more shit to say than folks that's walking around on God's free earth. How Suge got a full podcast, child, that's successful, too, does well. Anyway. It's been some shit. You know, Ray J continues to keep himself in some bullshit. He's always in mess. He loves it. He definitely loves it. He tries to act like he don't understand why he's always in it, but he places himself right in the middle of chaos all the time. Okay. Now, right now, apparently Ray J been going around and going on interviews, and he's been saying how he has, like, he basically owns Suge Knight's life. You don't own anybody's life. He owns the right to tell the story, I guess. You could maybe say that, but you know, you don't own nobody's life. And you know how egos go in men and shit. You know, you can't just say, like, I own you, you know, without people feeling a way about it. But I guess Ray J has gotten real big in his britches and have had a lot to say about Suge Knight, Death Row, and all of that. And I guess they've just gotten tired of it. Now, Suge Knight got wind of Ray J saying these things, and I guess he just ain't liked it. Okay, feeling like he's maybe overstepping. So he was on the Art of Dialogue podcast. It reached out to Suge and he denied it. He said, when it comes to Ray J and you say you got my life rights, let me tell you something, little boy. Now you playing with my kids and my family, so we're going to play with yours. Since you say you got my life rights and you're going to mess up the money my family gets, I'm going to sue your punk ass. I will get every dime you get, every dime your mama hide. Suge Knight has been saying a lot about Ray J, saying that he has proof that Ray J admitted that he was the reason that Whitney Houston had died. You know, that's always been like a point of, that rumor has always kind of been floating around. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. We know that Whitney Houston, unfortunately, was blitzed out of her mind that weekend, Grammy weekend, and everybody said that her and Ray J was keeping a real close. It was keeping real close with each other because they were doing drugs that whole weekend. And, we saw how it ended for her. So it's always been a little bit of a side eye for Ray J. And Suge Knight says that he has it even on tape of Ray J saying that he was the reason why. So there's that as well. Now, Suge Knight's son, Suge Knight Jr., if you will, is also tired of Ray J. Okay, they're saying that they don't understand why Ray J feels like, he is just this. He is LA, even though Ray J is very much an LA boy. He's very much in so many ways. Okay, but they were like, he was not around Death Row back in the day. Like when Tupac was around, Ray J was not there. Okay, Ray J likes to tell people that he was there like as a teenager, kind of hanging around them and everything. And if he was around them, they probably wasn't looking at him as anything other than just like some little kid that want to be around the rest of them. So they were like, he was never around for the Tupac days, so he can't really speak on any of that. Whatever he is speaking on, that is just some shit that he done created. Okay, and everybody is either dead or in jail, so they just let Ray J be Ray J. But Suge and them, I guess, are tired of it. So now the son has involved himself, and he's saying that him and Ray J, they just need to fight. He said Ray J just need to catch this fade real quick. We can just schedule it up. It'll be Ray J against SJ for Suge Jr., I'm assuming. And we can do this because they tired of him running his mouth. They was like, for real, trust me, we are not the Combs family. We don't fuck around. It beat that ass. They also were upset with Ray J. I think Ray J was the reason why Danny Boy was outed. Suge Knight in jail, big Suge Knight, says that Ray J was the one who outed him, and he always had a problem with him for doing that. And he wanted, get with him about that as well. He was like, Danny Boy, at the time, nobody was really coming out, especially being a rapper or an R&B singer and stuff, that was just not acceptable. And Ray J blasted him, so they didn't like him about that. But, it was all peaches and cream just a few years ago, back in 2019. They said that Suge Knight had said, like, Ray J was like family. That was like little brother. And yes, he does have the rights to the story and all that. So at one point, well, it's not at one point. I think Ray J actually does have rights to the story, But at one point, everybody was getting along. Now, they not. And Suge is not happy about it. And so I guess Suge is, barking orders from jail. And his son is also getting on social media and saying that he wants to get with Ray J. And so, yeah, that's what they got going on over there. I don't know what happened between now and then, but yeah, they ready to get with that ass. So Ray J, my advice is just keep a low profile. I know that's hard for him. He loves the attention and all, whether it's negative or positive, he don't care. But me and Mr. was just talking the other day about like all of these. It's so amazing to me how all these like gangsters who we looked at being like hardcore and all that, Suge, J Prince, maybe even Whack 100. I mean, I didn't even know who he was until, we knew who he was. But like, it's funny how like all these rappers now, they all on social media, they all gossiping and doing all that. That was shit that was not heard of back in the day. Like, we didn't have social media back in the day, but you know, gangsters and like the OGs and all that, they always kept a real low profile and shit. They didn't want to have no attention brought to them. Now they all over social media too. I mean, I guess everybody is trying to get to that chick. I mean, I can't be mad and everything, but it's just amazing to me how the rules of the street and gang activity and all that has changed. It's totally different than the way it was when we were growing up back in the 80s and 90s in LA. So, or I should say 70s and 80s in LA. So anyway, y'all, just an observation. But yeah, that's what's happening there. Suge Knight say he gonna get his son to whip Ray J ass. Brandy, get your brother. And then lastly, you guys, the man who shot Ralph Yarl, child, tell me why that man died yesterday. Now I know y'all been hearing his name recently. His name was Andrew Lester, remember? Was it Andrew? Yeah, Andrew Lester, 86 years old now. But back when this happened, I think this happened a couple of years ago. Remember, 16-year-old Ralph Yarl had went up to the wrong door and knocked on the man's storm door. And the man came and was afraid, apparently. Either afraid or wanted to kill him, somebody black that day. And so that's what he did. Shot him through the door and killed the young man. Okay. The boy didn't do nothing, was not threatening to do anything, but it was late at night, and this is a white man, this is a young black boy. He was, like I said, afraid or wanted to kill somebody, so that's what he did. He was arrested, and they had charged him originally with murder, but when I was reading on the story, because they were in court just 2 days ago. They were in court 2 days ago, and he did plead guilty to a lesser charge, which was a second-degree assault. And I was just like, how do we charge this man second-degree assault and he killed somebody? That's murder, okay? Killed somebody. Wasn't even defending himself, all right? But they dropped it down, maybe because of his age, maybe because of his health. You know, I'm assuming because they said that he's been in poor health. He was in poor health then, and it's even gotten worse. They said when he was in court on Tuesday, yeah, because today is Thursday, he died yesterday, Wednesday. So yeah, Tuesday, they said when they were in court, he was in a wheelchair, he was hunched over, and, you know, you could tell that he was in poor health. So maybe that's the reason why it dropped, you know, they dropped it, but he ended up pleading guilty to that. And he was supposed to just be awaiting his sentencing. His sentence date, I think, was March 7th. He was supposed to go back to get his sentencing. But child, tell me, why did the ultimate sentence get delivered yesterday? Because God said it's time to bring him on home. He didn't went off to glory, y'all. He didn't went off to glory. The family is kind of bummed about that, because they're saying that they feel like there's really no justice that's been done, that their son is dead, that this man is dead, you know, he didn't even really have to pay. And I was just like, yeah, that is a pretty, you know, that was a pretty bad hand that they were dealt. I would probably need some therapy over that, because, you know, me is an eye for an eye. I be wanting something to happen to them. But, you know, it's just like, well, they died, but I guess you feel like, but that happened naturally. That wasn't like them, you know, feeling like we putting your ass in a chair and you know you about to die, you know, because the man probably went to sleep and just did not think that he, you know, and maybe he didn't wake up. He probably thought he was going to, you know. So anyway, you guys, the family was happy about getting the speedy trial, but it just, you know, just wasn't in the cards for them. I'm just really shocked that the man was not charged with murder. But again, I think that it might have something to do with his age, because murder would have been a life sentence. I mean, even if he was 83, 84 years old, you know, like, he ain't gonna be in jail that long and all that. Let's just go on and give him the second-degree assault. But if I was that family, I'd have been mad about it. So I got it. But yeah, that's it on that. Andrew Lester, yeah, he's gone. Prayers up for the family, though, that's still trying to deal with all of the fallout after, you know, their loved one was killed. Okay? All right, you guys, that is it. I'm gonna move on to the next video. You guys, we do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. time, Roxstars. Bye.